So it has been an absolutely horrible, horrible month. If you are a fan of, grifters, in specific right-wing grifters, all right? If you are a fan of the Asmongols, the Tectones, just those kinds of people, all right, it has been an absolutely horrible month for you. And it's not getting better, okay? Because Mr. Nux Taku has recently been exposed in a hit piece. And, some people are saying he's a pedo, alright? He grooms kids. Despite the thumbnail for this video, that is not actually what's happening. But what has been exposed is his just disgusting greed and negligence as a content creator. And I know some people are not going to care. Some people are going to push this aside because they don't give a fuck, alright? Because they like what they hear from this dude, so they're just going to ignore all criticism coming his way. And I understand those people, alright? I used to be one of those people. And I just have to say, it's looking rough. If you, in your brain, have the ability to look at someone's actions and condemn them, you're not going to like this, okay? Because what these allegations have shown is that this guy is just completely disgusting and ignorant of everything around him because he doesn't care. And I'm going to show you a clip from the recent video by Nicandros that demonstrates this negligence.
The NSFW channel wasn't there from the start. We can trace its creation to this exchange from October 15th, 2018, where we can see this user, who from now on will be called Red, repeatedly asking Nux to create it. If we look at the time and date of these messages, the NSFW channel was made 2 minutes later. In response to this, Red raised their Patreon pledge, and Nux gave them a thumbs up. For a brief moment, let me take you to August of 2024. Nux Taku is finally being pressed about his past content, and he was actually pushed into making a response.
The biggest shock to me to this day entering the broader commentary sphere was the dangers lurking around every corner in regards to children. Children are not safe on the internet. I only became chronically online after high school, but I couldn't imagine what it would do to me if I was in some YouTuber's Discord server at the age of 12 or 14.
You couldn't imagine. You don't need to. Red joined the server on September 7th. On day 1, they openly declared themselves to be 14 years old. They would later claim to be 15 multiple times, but as they openly stated, they were lying about their age.
This person joins the server when they are 11 years old, and to be fair to Nux Taku, he probably doesn't know this, okay? He probably is unaware that this person is 11, but he should be. He should be checking people's ages when he's letting them in to his Patreon server to talk amongst a bunch of degenerates, okay? He should at least attempt to verify that, but that is not the main argument that I want to make. I want to, just really hammer in the fact that this guy is sitting on his platform of, a couple hundred people in his streams, okay? Alright, he's not all that. He doesn't have that much shit, but he's sitting on his platform preaching about, these people, they are immigrants and they're evil and they love abortions, and he's pushing these traditional values, these family values, he's praising God and all that shit. He's trying to push that on people, and there is nothing wrong with that, okay? If you have an agenda, you can gladly push it. But this person has probably destroyed some poor children's lives when he posted his cropped hentai fucking porn thumbnails all over YouTube and got YouTubers to sit in his videos and watch hentai with him, where people are in his comments asking for the source, asking where this is from. He has probably ruined a bunch of children's lives and turned them into the most disgusting queers imaginable by doing this. And now he's sitting on his platform preaching these, right-wing values. Alright, just grifting, absolutely grifting, when he's probably done much more damage by turning to some fucking poor innocent child into a Japanese rapist pedophile, alright, when they were like a little kid, alright, he's probably done more damage to kids' lives than whoever the fuck that he is fighting against. Let's be real. And look, it is embarrassing to admit this, okay? But I used to be one of those kids that I'm talking about, alright? I was like 12, 11, 13 watching fucking Nux Taku, alright, Oompaville, maybe even younger, maybe like fucking 8 or 9, alright, watching Nux Taku and Oompaville with the most sexualized fucking thumbnails ever, alright? I'm watching my favorite YouTubers review fucking hentai with this freak, alright? That was me, alright? As embarrassing as it is to admit. And I 100% think that that contributed at least somewhat to some of the things I've struggled with in the past, alright? I will absolutely admit that. And it is embarrassing, but it is the truth, alright? It is absolutely the truth. And I just think it is disgusting that this guy now sits here grifting, just absolutely saying the most deranged shit, while he has probably contributed more to the mind raping of children than any of the people he's talking about, alright? Ava Chris Tyson probably did less damage than this fucking disgusting creep. Like, if I'm just being straight up. But everybody should be condemned for this. Alright, nobody should be left alone for doing things like this. And not this guy, especially not this fucking guy. He should not be allowed to bounce back from completely filling the internet, the safe side of the internet, fucking YouTube.com, with his degeneracy. He should not be allowed to get away with that and pivot. It is just disgusting to me. I will not let that happen. So I will brigade and I will do whatever I can to make this known, because it is just disgusting to see this guy pivot away and just do something new after completely flooding this website with his Japanese mind rape content. It is just disgusting to see that happen. So I had to get on the soapbox and just say that. But he has responded to this, and in this response, he just completely deflects, alright? And I'm going to show you a couple of clips where he just deflects the blame from himself, because you know that if there's any way this guy can't take responsibility for his negligence, he's going to do it. And I'm going to show you these clips, okay? I'm going to show you them right now.
Discord server, because as I'm sure he mentioned this in the longer video, I'm not trying to say that he tried to slander me on purpose over here, but this was a Patreon server. For those of you that are unaware, Patreon servers are inherently 18 plus, because if you want to become a patron, if you want to join a creator's membership as a patron, or provide membership as a creator, you must be at least 18 years old or have permission from a parent or guardian. All right. Quite literally, that obviously didn't happen. This was inherently an 18 plus Discord server. So if someone lied or stole their mom's credit card, or their mom let their kid join a Discord server from a guy that was making more, adult focused content on my YouTube channel, that is the parent's fault. Okay. Just to be clear.
So this guy makes the point that it is inherently 18 plus. So I can just let anyone come into this server and do whatever they want because it is inherently 18 plus. And you know damn well at the time he wasn't thinking about that and he didn't care. But now, when he has to defend himself, he's going to use this. But why aren't you checking anyway, bro? Why? Because Patreon isn't checking your fucking age. Alright, let's be real. It is in their TOS. They're not checking your fucking age. But they're taking your credit card information, they're giving it to this fucking degen, and they're letting him run his Patreon. They're not checking the person's age. So just because that's in the guidelines doesn't necessarily mean that it's being enforced, okay? And I don't even think that the child thing is like the strongest criticism, alright? I think that this guy shouldn't even be on the platform posting this shit if it's not going to be age restricted and it's going to be pushing people's recommendations. But that is just, my opinion, obviously. But I just think that this is a deflection from taking responsibility for allowing people to come into your community that you don't know their age, and you don't care because you're making money. Alright, you don't give a fuck. That is the Nux Taku mindset, alright? Post the most disgusting, degenerate fucking slop ever to everybody and just let it fumigate their reputations, alright? Doesn't matter if they're some 10-year-old who likes fucking Dragon Ball and My Hero and their hormones get a little bit fucking spiked when they see Big Titty Bulma in the fucking thumbnail, which is definitely what's happening, okay? With these videos not being age restricted, that's what's happening. And let them come into your videos, consume the most disgusting rape slop fucking hentai ever, and make them join your community, go in the comments asking for fucking sauce. That is what's happening. And just completely not care. Because this guy's being negligent. That is what's happening. He does not care. That is the problem. And I do have another clip, and it was made by this guy on Twitter. I forgot his name, but I'll put it on screen. But this just demonstrates this Nux Taku AIDS. Alright, this AIDS, okay? I'm gonna play it right now.
It's like, oh, a guy got groomed in a Discord, which is fucking awful, don't get me wrong, and I'm really sorry if I contributed to that at all. It's really fucking awful. But I really didn't contribute to that much at all, to be honest. Like, if we were being honest. Someone entered a Discord and lied about their age, and someone else in the Discord, in one of my servers over the years, and someone messaged that guy lewd stuff, which is awful. But yeah, unfortunately, parents need to make sure that their kids aren't logging into 18 plus servers.
Despite having an NSFW channel, the server's rules mention nothing about a minimum age, and there is nothing about it being 18 plus on the Patreon side either.
You know? It's awful, don't get me wrong, but that's that.
You know, I'm sorry if I contributed to that, but I didn't because, you know, this is my 18 plus Patreon server. Even though there is nowhere outlining that it's 18 plus, there is no age restrictions on it, there is no age verification on your server, but I didn't contribute to this kid being absolutely molested by Japanese AIDS porn. I didn't contribute to that at all. That's what this guy is saying. But I would say that you do have a responsibility, at least a little bit. Even if you don't think so, you know, at least a little bit you have some kind of responsibility to make sure that children are not in your environment full of degeneracy, okay? And I absolutely think this guy should be condemned like all the fucking pedos that we have condemned over the years, even if he hasn't groomed anyone, but simply for the fact that he has absolutely contributed to a ton of degeneracy being all over the fucking internet, alright? Plenty of poor kids have probably been exposed to the worst things imaginable coming straight out of fucking the Japanese rape factory, aka some 35-year-old's fucking bedroom in Tokyo, Seoul, alright? Fucking Seoul, alright, just Tokyo. Absolutely, he has contributed to that somehow, okay? So, I think that he should be at least condemned for that, and he should be in the fucking gutter with all the other people who have done things like this. That's just my take. But I'd say, you know, this is about the end of the video, alright? And hashtag rape Nux Taku, alright? Post that in every video, every fucking Twitter post you make, alright? I need to see hashtag rape Nux Taku. But that is the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.